All right, it looks like it's 4 o'clock, so we will get started with our information-packed webinar today. Welcome to our webinar today, which is entitled Cool Tools for Creative Yule. We had the idea to share some creativity tools that would be good for you to use at school, but maybe also at home. So hopefully you will find at least one of these tools useful for you, and probably more than that. Just a couple of quick housekeeping things, and then I'm going to turn it over to our 9 presenters. If you have not connected to the audio, then you can't hear me. But if you can hear me, then you did, and that's great. If you have not yet opened up the chat box, you can do that by mousing over the green bar. You should have a green bar at the top of your screen. Mouse over that green bar, and then that should drop down a little box, and click on chat, and that will open up the chat box. I do have one presenter who is going to be doing a screen share, and when we change presenters, you'll lose that chat box, and you'll just have to do that again when he presents and then when it gets turned back over to me. So just a heads up that you will lose it, but it's as easy as clicking on that green bar to get it back. And I have everybody muted, and I request that everybody just stays muted unless you're the presenter. That will keep background noise to a minimum, only from our presenters. So just keep muted, please. And I will encourage you to make comments and ask questions as we go, but we'll talk about that in a second. We have one more webinar this month. It is planned for a week from today. Great Reads Make Great Gifts. We are getting some people on to talk about some educational or educational technology related books that they have enjoyed that might be some great reading material for you, maybe over your winter break, or maybe you have a gift that you want to get for an educator in your life, a friend or a family member, and you might get some great ideas. So plan on joining us for that. Also, if you have a book that you would like to share, feel free to drop me a message in the chat box, or you can email me, and I'll include my email address at some point in our presentation today. We will be scheduling more webinars after the first of the year, so just watch our website for those, for more information about those. And this is what our website looked like last week. I've not updated my screenshot, but this is the general layout of our website. You can find us by searching for e-learning from any page on the Department of Education site, or you can find e-learning in the Parents and Students section, administrators, and educators. So we're everywhere. You can find links to all of our professional development opportunities in that professional development menu item on the left. You can also get all of the 21st Century Learning Lab information, our webinars that we do, and that section on the left side also. We have a Twitter chat every week. If you are not familiar with that, you should be. Lots of great information is exchanged between some wonderful educators throughout the state, and we get people from out of the state and even out of the country sometimes also. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, we do a Twitter chat, INE-Learn. This week, we are having a combined chat with Kentucky, and that chat for this week will be using a special hashtag, INKYEdChat. So please join us for that this Thursday night at 8 o'clock. And you can also always connect to us using the INE-Learn. That is our username also, and then the hashtag anytime you want. The Speak Up survey is live. If you would invite your school community to participate in that, we get some great information from that survey that's used in the state and nationally to make decisions about educational technology. So please consider participating in that, and the information is there for that. And you can also link to that right from our homepage. There's a link to that. And it looks like we are ready for our first presenter. And again, you will need to reopen your chat window in just a moment. Please use the chat box to ask questions. About the tools that are used, we've got 9 presenters sharing 9 different web tools. So ask questions, make comments. If your questions don't get answered during each individual presentation, then we should have some time at the end to answer those. And so right now I'm going to introduce Bill Gamula from Evansville-Vanderburg School Corporation, who is going to be talking about MAD video. So Bill, I'm making you the presenter right now, so take it away.
All right. Hello, everybody. And it is my pleasure to be speaking with everyone today and to share with you the tool, the MAD video. This is something, and here's a little, I guess, plug for what we did. We did a project with 6th grade students who used the MAD video not too long ago, and we made the local news channel because they were one of the first groups of K through 12 students to use this particular tool. And we actually had a Google Hangout with this chief operating officer of the MAD video, and that was really a neat experience for those 6th grade kids. So really the MAD video, if you're familiar with Thinglink at all, the MAD video is very similar to Thinglink, except it works with videos. It's free to sign up. You go up here and to the top right where my mouse is right now, and you click sign up. Once you've created your account, you're going to go to log in. You can use your Google account to link it in, so you don't have to create another account, which makes it nice and easy. And I've gone ahead and logged in already, and what you get is a list of all your videos that you've made, and some of these are some student videos that were accidentally in my account, and then some of these are things that I've sort of tooled around with. Once you're inside, the crux of it, if you click the pencil icon is the universal icon, you come into the MAD video editor. What you do is you import any YouTube video, or you can also use Vimeo and several other different video sites to bring in videos, and you import that video into this editor screen here, and you are then allowed to tag the video with different tags. So for instance, this particular video I brought in off of YouTube, and you can tell obviously since it has YouTube down at the bottom, and these little bubbles are the tags that you can put in. So if I want to put in a person tag or a pet tag or a place tag or a music tag, if I want to play a video inside the video, so if I have another video about the particular person that or the particular thing that the video is about, I can link another video into the video that's there. A couple of these tabs are only available for Evansville-Vanderburg School Corporation right now because of our sort of unique partnership, but they will be coming live to everybody very shortly. And so essentially what the kids did was a biography project, and they needed to find a video that was about their particular person, and then they had to use that as their general idea and then pull in supplementary ideas, small little ideas, and tag them in the video. And so as the video plays, these little bubbles will pop up wherever they put them on the timeline down here at the bottom of the screen, and they can provide supplemental information about their particular individual. And the nice thing is that when you play the video, when you hover over the bubble, the video automatically freezes, and so you get locked in at that particular point. And when you take your mouse off the bubble, it continues back again. And when you click the bubble, it brings up information about the site. When you go ahead and put bubbles in, and I'll show you in just a second how to do one, it pulls in information automatically about that particular website, so you can type in your own information, or if you'd like to, you can just use the information that it imports off the website itself. And then, so when you click the bubble, it pulls up a little window that gives you a little blurb about whatever it is. If you'd like to go ahead and look at more information about that, you can click info and look at more information about that and actually go to that particular website and get that information. If you want to share the tag, you can share that tag out through social media, and it will actually link back to the MAD video and link to that exact spot in the video where that particular bubble was. So you can share an exact point in a video that you would like to share. So to add a tag to a video, it's just as easy as getting to the point where you want it to be and then taking one of the tags that's over on the side and dragging it over into the video. And when you do that, it'll ask you to create a particular tag. And if you just search for something, and I'll just really quickly put in a search, it will bring back websites, and I'll just grab this one from Wikipedia, and all the Wikipedia haters can get me in the chat room in just a little bit. It automatically grabs an image for me, or I can upload an image. Notice it's filled out the title tag, the description tag. Really all I have to do is click save and continue tagging. And just like that, it puts that particular tag into my video, and now I'm ready to go and continue tagging along. So that's the MAD video in a nutshell. It's just adding tags to video content, and in so doing, you're enriching that content. You're making that content more live. What you're really doing is you're asking your students to pull more knowledge out and asking them to take a video and go out and find more information than what's contained in that video and bring it back to you and share that information with you. So they have to use research skills, and they have to use critical thinking skills to analyze the sources that they're using, and they have to use lots of different things in order to create the entire project. So that's the MAD video.
Very cool. Thank you, Bill. It makes it much more, less of a sit and get just watching a video. So very cool. Thank you.
Exactly.
And Bill referenced Thinglink, and we will be seeing Thinglink a little bit later on in our presentation. But now we are going to move on to Amy Schmidt from MSD of Wabash County, who is going to be talking about Powtoon.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, Amy, we can. Thanks.
Hello?
Yes, Amy, we can.
Awesome. Okay, so go ahead and go to the next slide, please. So is this what your classroom typically looks like? You're sitting there at the front and you're presenting, and eventually you're going to put your kids to sleep. Next slide, please. So this is what your class will look like. You know, the kids are bored. They've sat there through your boring presentation over and over again. Or maybe this is you sitting there through your students' presentations. Next slide, please. So why not captivate, engage, and explain? And unfortunately, I don't think one of my pictures show. There it is. Thank you, Mary. So why not captivate, engage, and explain with Powtoon? Next slide, please. Powtoon is an animated presentation. It brings cartoon styles into videos. Keeps your students a little more engaged. This slide that's up now is a Powtoon that it's just a couple screenshots of a Powtoon that I created. We had e-learning days here at MSD, and our students, our K through 2 students, were taking their iPads home for the first time. So I created a video, or a Powtoon, with all of the rules, and we did it as a mission. So they were special agents. And their first assignment when they got home was to show this to their parents. So you can see it actually looks like there's a pen writing the words. The next one, the one on the bottom, you can see a hand kind of putting that X there on the picture. So it kind of just makes it a little more lively, a little more fun. Once I made the Powtoon, though, I took this one a little bit further and imported it into iMovie. I don't have any screenshots of that, but just know that it can be done. I imported it into iMovie, and then I put our superintendent into some of the slides, talking to the students as well. So next slide, please. Thank you. This slide is a commercial, or it was a commercial that someone had made from Powtoon. You can see at the top, the rabbit is getting tired of his heater. So, you know, he takes his hammer, he hits the heater, and it's for comfort first heating and cooling. I should say that it's really hard to show you really, truly what Powtoon can do in pictures, because it's all animated. It turns it all into videos. It's really a neat presentation. The video I made for the students, the K2 students, went over. I mean, they were mesmerized by it, so it went very well. Next slide, please. So if you've ever used PowerPoint or Keynote, you can use Powtoon. So pretty much, it's very user-friendly. Next slide, please. All you have to do really is pick, in the top picture, you'll pick what kind of Powtoon that you want to create. Once you've picked one, you'll see in the bottom picture, in the top picture, I chose the educational clip. In the bottom picture, you'll see, once I've chosen that, I've got different templates that I can choose within that. So each one of those in the top picture has more clips that go with it. Next slide, please. Powtoon is extremely easy. All you have to do really is simply drag and drop. You'll see on the left side you have slides just like you do in PowerPoint or Keynote, and you can add however many slides that you need. On the right-hand side, you see all of the different items that you can use. There's different text effects, there's different characters, there's even different themes. So if you click on a different theme, you're going to get different text effects, different characters, different animated characters, different props, all of that through there. And you can layer, you can have voiceover, you can have pictures, music, whatever. You can import your own pictures in there as well. You'll see that this person was starting to type the word awesomeness. So in that first picture there, it says awesome. I didn't quite get the picture taken in time for the nest to come out. But if you look at the bottom picture, you'll see that's what that word awesomeness turned into, that dynamic slide that will really grab attention versus just the word awesome. Or if you, you know, there's science behind the brain working and not wanting to read different bullets on a PowerPoint. That's boring. Nobody wants to read. They'd rather see the pictures, so it's a little more engaging. And next slide, please. So there are within Powtoon, you can download a free book. It's, I think, 75 pages. If you were to go to Amazon, you have to pay for it, but if you go to Powtoon, it is free. It gives you some different tips and tricks on how to make a professional Powtoon. I've never looked at the book. You can just go in and get started. You don't really have to, but if you want to make something really professional looking, you can read that book. Also within Powtoon, you're going to see several different videos, tutorials that tell you a little bit more about parts of the video, or like the perfect text, kind of giving you or your students the ability to, or the help that you might need to make your videos a little bit better. Also, there's a blog section where you will just see so many different items, like the explainers animate your marketing messages, just to tell you how to make them more powerful. So, next slide, please. And that is Powtoon. Once your Powtoon is created, you can share them straight to YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, I believe. You share it to YouTube, and then if you want to put it in an iMovie or even in the Mad video and do a little more with it, that would be an awesome way to put the two together. So that's what I have for you guys today.
Very good. Thank you very much. That was a cool, that I had never seen that before. So that was very interesting, and you made a great segue to our next presenter, who is Melissa McCain from Franklin Community School Corporation, who is going to be talking about YouTube. So take it away, Melissa.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
All right. Well, this is one I kind of wavered on even presenting on, because I feel like it's one of those things that maybe everybody else in the whole world already knows these things, but I don't. And so I was pretty impressed when I got diving into YouTube lately and saw that it's not just a place for video storage and video sharing. You can do about anything on YouTube right now. Change the slide, please. Okay, so after you create an account, and one thing I noticed like a few years ago, like I had made, the 40-minute long end of the year presentation and wanted to upload it to YouTube to share with the parents, and it had the songs in the background like My Wish and things like that, and obviously it was a full-length song, so it stopped me, asked me if I wanted to sign up for, I believe it was called an educator's account, and when I did, then it said, hang on, it went and got rights for me so that I could keep those songs in the background of my video without changing it and still show it. So I thought, well, that was a pretty cool thing to begin with. But then, like I said, when I started playing around, if you go to YouTube and you're signed into your account, the upload button at the top right, if you just click on upload, it brings up this screen. And from here, you can see, right in the middle there, you can select any videos that you've already made and have files of in your computer. But go ahead and click the next screen, please. If you look at that toolbar on the side, I've kind of maximized it for you, because what you can also do is, if you have a webcam set up on your device, whatever that might be, you can record straight from your camera. You can also, if you create the photo slideshow, when you hit create, it will ask you if you want to, do pictures, and when you click it, you can upload, like it will pull right from your pictures on your desk, or you can add pictures and video in. So I know like a couple of programs will let you just do pictures, and then some let you do pictures and videos, but I was pretty impressed that right on the internet you can pull in the pictures and the videos. Then it lets you do your Google Hangouts, and then the editor you can get to from this screen, but you'll also be able to get to it from another screen. Yes. I'm sorry, did someone say something?
Go ahead, there was background noise.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you click on that photo slideshow and where you hit create. If you go ahead and hit that, or the next slide, I'm sorry. The first thing it does is, pulls you in oh, go back one, I'm sorry. It pulls, asks you what pictures you want to pull in and things like that. So you can pull in pictures. If you look underneath the time bar, the video bar, you can see you can control the duration of the slide. You can control effects. When it's panning in, panning out, you can control the transitions of the slides. It also allows you to add in your own or a list set of music that they have, or your own music. And so you can do quite a bit just with the pictures and adding in the video. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So whether you used pictures or video, or both pictures and video, or whether you did it from, you know, what was already a file on your computer, or whether you did it while you had the webcam on there, whichever way you choose to get the videos on there, when you have them listed on there and they pull in, like you can see the list of videos that I have in my account that I've uploaded, under each one there's an edit button, and after you start editing, it's crazy everything you can do in YouTube. So just as if I had hit the edit button under the first video there, go ahead and hit the next screen. Like just from here you can tell you're on editing, and if you look at the top right above the video where it says infos and settings, the red bar tells you that at this point is what you're editing. So if you uploaded it and you want to change the title, or if you want to add more tags, or if you want to clarify in the description, you can do all of that from here. You can even easily change your privacy settings. If you at first uploaded it as private, but you want to switch it so it's public, or however you want to do that, you can change that from the screen. You can even change the thumbnail that it uses when, you know, someone searches your video. But then if you go back up to where infos and settings and the red bar is, if you click on the next one where it says enhancements, then the next screen comes up. So if you want to go ahead and change the slide, once you click on enhancements, you can change everything from the lighting to the contrast to stabilizing it. You can click an auto fix button and it will kind of do a preview thing for you. You can even play around with it, because at any point in time you can revert to your original screen and it's no problem. You can add filters, you can add special effects, you can change to slow motion in any of it, and then if you look down there at the bottom, you can even see where you can, you know, trim off pieces from the front, trim off pieces from the end, and even clip pieces in the middle and delete them out so you get the extra fluff out of your video and have it just what you want. So I was pretty impressed with the enhancements. If you go to, let's see, I talked about the lighting and the contrast and the filters. If you go to the bottom of it, so like when you're out of the filters, it also, once you've gotten your video so far, if you decide that you want to add another video into it, once again, it lets you combine multiple videos right in that session and create them into one. You can then, if you look back at the top where the red lines are, so if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide, back at the top where the lines are, so we talked about infos and setting and enhancements. Once again, you can also add any background audio to your music. I think there's a next slide. Okay, so yeah, at the, you know, whoops, back one please. The infos and settings, and then you have the enhancements that we talked about. You have a whole collage of things you can do within the audio. Once again, adding from your own audio or adding from a pre-selected list of audio that they have. And then on top of it, you can add annotations and captions, which I've had good luck with the kids. Like I'll show them a video and I'll put them on it to edit it. They have to add the annotations to the video to explain in words what's happening in the video, which has become a really great writing motivator within the classroom. So last slide. I just really wanted to say how impressed I was that YouTube wasn't just a place to, you know, store the videos after you make them or to share the videos once they're made, that you can really start from scratch and make the video within YouTube and, you know, do some things that some pretty costly video editors let you do right inside YouTube without any cost. So.
Very good. Thank you very much, Melissa. And next, we will move on to Jane Matthews from Franklin Community School Corporation talking about eduCanon.
Hello. Did I unmute?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I will be quick. This is a fairly new tool for me, too, but I was so excited when I saw it. Do I have a next slide? I think I just sent one slide. It's all on this one slide here that there's basically just 3 steps, though. You just need to find a video, whether it's YouTube or any other kind of video online, and they said that the best browsers are Chrome and Safari, but it does work on all Macs and PCs, and it says it's even responsive to iPads, but I haven't tested it on that. But basically, you find a video, and you open up a screen called Building Lessons. You can, register yourself, and your students later on can find you with a teacher code. They do not have to have an email. They can actually sign up with just a username, which makes it nice. So when you build the lessons, if you look at the top right of my screen, you end up adding a multiple choice to any segment of the video that you have. So as you create it, you create a title, a learning objective, you give it a grade tag, a topic tag like English or social studies, for example, and then a subtopic like grammar. But then that sets it up, and then you have all of these parts of the movie that you can add the multiple choice questions to. So whether you're trying to just test their knowledge or add some things in or just simulate some critical thinking, there's a lot of different things you could probably do with that. And then the other thing is you assign the lessons, so you can add up to 8 classes, and if you look at the second little screenshot on the right, that will allow you to add a class or groups within your classes, and then the videos are all on the far right, and you've created them, and then you can just add them at any time and give them an assignment date and so on. And then lastly, one of the things I thought was really cool is you get to see who watched the video and what questions they were able to answer correctly or incorrectly. So there's like this sort of formative assessment going on, and then or a summative at the end. You can see where they're struggling or not. And I'm sure most teachers would come up with just tons of creative uses for this, either to see, to gauge where the kids are at with certain concepts or ideas. This video that I'm showing you, it was a sample that someone tweeted out and how I discovered eduCanon. And it was a movie clip where they were talking about grammar in the film. So it's just a really fun and very easy to build. It literally is just, I signed up, there's the 3 steps, just thought it would be really useful, cool tool.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jane. Thanks. And that is the last of our video tools. I believe it was Tim that said that video seems to be the theme. Well, we're going to move on to other areas. So next is Jeff Trone from Evansville-Vanderburg School Corporation, who is going to be talking about Murally. So take it away, Jeff. We don't hear you yet, Jeff. It's either *6 or #6 on your phone.
Can you hear me?
Yes. And you're gone again. Try again.
No.
Hello? I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to show you Murally. It doesn't, the web address doesn't have any W's or .coms or .nets. It's just mural.ly is the web address. And the finished product kind of looks like Prezi when you're done. It doesn't have as many bells and whistles, but it's much more user-friendly. Once you're at the site, you'll see this screen, and you'll see a big pink button that says sign up for free. And I got a big arrow pointing to it right there, and you can go on to the next slide. Okay, once you're logged in, you're ready to begin creating a mural or a presentation. And you'll see a square with a plus sign in it that says create a new mural with the arrow pointing at it there. You can click on that, and you'll be asked to give your mural a name. You can also share this with somebody via email address and collaborate with them if you'd like. But if you don't want to, then you can skip that option at the moment and just do the mural yourself. We can go on to slide 3. The buttons down the left side are what you're mainly going to use to create your mural. Let me just kind of run through them. As you hover over them, it tells you what they are, but that top one allows you to add text. The second one is shapes. The third one is stickers. And there were similar buttons like that in the Powtoon deal where you can just add various shapes and stuff like arrows and stick figures and that type of thing. The next one down where it has like the 4 squares, that is a button called Layouts, and we're going to get back to that one because that's where you're going to add your frames. The 5th one down looks like speckles on it. That's backgrounds. You can turn it into a cork board or different shades. You can even, I think you even have on like graph paper. So that may be good for math. Sometimes it's hard to find good math stuff. The next one that kind of looks like an inbox. If you have an iPhone, there's an iPhone app that allows you to send things from like pictures and notes from your iPhone. So, and I think it's only iPhone. I don't think Android has an app for it yet. The one with the world there, you can add websites, the mountains, and the little sun. You can add photos. And the next one, you can add stuff straight from your Google Drive. So it hooks up with Google. That's pretty cool. So if you need a document from your Google Drive that you want to put into your presentation, that can be done very easily. And if you have an Evernote account, you can do kind of the same thing with it there, and that's the one with the elephant on it. All right, next slide, please. Okay, this shows where I've actually clicked on the text button. You have an option of a title, a text box, and several options of different sticky notes, different sizes, shapes, colors there. And you can type right on those, and you can change the color of font, size of font, all that good stuff. All these can simply be dragged and dropped, just like the green arrow shows you there. We can go to the next slide. For every object you put in your mural, you'll get these 4 buttons that I've shown what they do here. The top left one, that kind of looks like crosshairs. You can use that button to move your object anywhere in your mural. You can even put a little tilt on it with that one in the top right. Resize it with the one on the bottom right. And then the bottom left creates a menu. And in that menu, it allows you to delete it. You can put it behind an object if you have 2 that are close together, or move it forward. There's several different options that you can do within that menu there. So that's what those 4 buttons allow you to do. Okay, go ahead to the next slide. All right. This slide shows where I've clicked onto the Add Photos button. What I really like and what a lot of teachers like about Mural is you don't have to go out to like Google or Flickr and find photos. You can just type in, I've typed in Abraham Lincoln here, and then pictures of Lincoln pop up, and you can simply just drag them over into your mural. So that's very easy for students to type in a topic or a person and get some quick photos that they can drag and drop in a presentation. All right, next slide. Same deal if you want to include a website in your presentation. For this one, I just typed in NFL.com, and you can see the results of last night's game there against the Saints and the Seahawks. And they've got the website title as well as the headline there. And if you don't want those, I'll tell you how you can get those out a little bit later in just a few minutes. But you can just simply drag that over there, and then you've got your live link to the website on maybe some research you did on your topic in your presentation. Okay, next slide. This slide shows where I've clicked on the layout button. Now this one's really important. There's some preset layouts here. I've never really used one of those. The main thing that I want to show you here is that top area where you can drag and drop a frame around the object in your mural. And that's going to actually become your slide. And if I were to grab that and drag it over the part that says this is a title, that would become slide number 1, okay? So that's pretty much how that works. Instead of down the side, you're going to get an outline, and I think I show that on the next picture here. Go ahead to the next slide. Okay, well, it's the next one, but just leave it here. This slide shows you what the frame looks like after you've dragged and dropped it into your workspace. It has 3 of the 4 buttons in the corners that we talked about just a minute ago. You just can't tilt this one. You'll need to put the frame around the object that you want in your presentation in the order that you want them to appear. Go ahead to the last slide. All right, this kind of shows my workspace. You can see all the things. There's my title. I've got Abraham Lincoln, the NFL website. If you look at, there's a little video camera in the bottom right there, and that will toggle from edit mode into presentation mode. And there's also an outline there. The order that I put those frames are there. They all say untitled, and that's because if you put a title in there, it shows in your presentation. So I'm not crazy about that. But you can resize that frame. What I was getting at, if you wanted to leave off the headline of the website, or you wanted to not have the text underneath of Abraham Lincoln there, then you would just resize that frame, which becomes your slide, so that it didn't include that. On the other hand, you can include more than one item in your slide. So if I had a sticky note right underneath Abe there, I could just make that frame big enough that it includes the picture of Abraham Lincoln and the sticky note, and then I could maybe type a little note that this was taken right before his Gettysburg Address or something like that, just a little fun fact. And the website is a live link, so if I clicked on that picture, it would take me to NFL.com, and you can actually make a link out of anything, your title, your picture, and it moves around and has motion just like Prezi and looks a whole lot like Prezi when you're done. And to share this out, you can share it out by clicking on a button that will be up at the top that says Share, and you can share a link that gives viewing rights only that you can email to somebody, or if you wanted to do it through inviting them through email address, I think you can toggle whether they can just edit or view it, and you can share it out that way as well. And that is Mural-y, and it's really easy to use, and all the teachers that I've shown it to have used it and like it very much. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. And let's move on to Maria Sellers from South Vermilion School Corporation, who is going to be talking about Ninu Go.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, Ninu Go is a great online creativity platform. It's extremely simple, which is the reason I chose it. I'm aiming to use it with more elementary and middle school, but I do know our high school design teacher and the yearbook teacher use this just as a basic platform to get them used to creating posters and spreads, like spreads for books. And so let's just check it out. If you go to the next slide. So when I go in, I can create as many classes as I want with as many students in it, simply because it's still a fairly young app. So they're letting you use it for free with as much as you want. So this is the inside of a class that we were just playing with. And as you can see, you have a place where you can look at students, add students, delete, whatever you'd like to do. There's a place to see student posts. There are several projects, and these are projects that you might create yourself, and then posts that you maybe have given to students. And then the cool part is you can upload pictures that you may find on Google or somewhere on the web, but also with things that you might upload onto your computer, then you can take it onto here. So if you had students create a family picture project, they could bring those in. And then the other thing that I really like is if a student does see something that they find inappropriate, that should not be there, they can click on the report button, which then gives you a reported comments report. So you can take care of that at any time. Next slide, please. And here is one that I just did for fun. I chose a student to go through and do this with me. So I made my assignment poster for them. So I asked them to create a poster that illustrates traits, and then over on the side said the things. So I can grab several different text bubbles or text things. I know there were bubbles, just plain text, or other illustrations and pictures, but the important part to remember is you don't have to just use their clip art. You can always upload anything that you have on your computer as well. And next slide, please. And so the student, of course, didn't get very creative with me, but this is what he gave back. So he did do it correctly. And so when I get a student's work turned back into me, I can either approve it or I can even disapprove it and tell them to do it again. And if I really think it's an excellent project, I can give them kudos, which will then give them a little digital marker at the top of their presentation, and all of their classmates will see that they did get that kudos from me. And we'll go to the next slide, please. And so here's just a list of pros and cons. The biggest thing for me is that students are creating. They may be demonstrating lists or telling you specific things, but they're definitely doing it in a creative manner. And I've done this as well for church and other events. I've just made posters and I've printed them off, and it was quite easy. And I know you could do these things in maybe Microsoft Word or Publisher, but if students don't have those things, then this is an option for you. The biggest downfall for me is that it is currently not iPad ready or tablet ready. But that is something that they are looking at, and a lot of us have begged and pleaded for at this point. So definitely a tool to check out. It's very simple, but it's something that students will catch on to quite quickly. So great for the classroom.
All right, thank you very much, Maria. And next, we will move on to Tim Wilhelm from Evansville-Vanderburg School Corporation, who is going to be talking about Thinglink.
Cool. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so I am talking about Thinglink. Thinglink got mentioned earlier with the MAD video. And basically it's an image version of the MAD video in some ways, but it's a great way for creating interactive online images. So we'll just jump right in and go to the next slide. One of the things that I really love about Thinglink is it's been around long enough that even if you just go into Thinglink and do a search for something, you can find just dozens and dozens of Thinglinks over any topic. And so you don't have to reinvent the wheel at all. And so that's one of the things that I just thought I'd point out to you is beyond just the creation piece, it's like so many other tools. It's a community where people are creating together and where you can not only use somebody else's Thinglink, but you can make a copy of their Thinglink and then make edits to it yourself so that it suits your needs. So that's kind of nice. Next slide. So this is sort of part of a Thinglink. I didn't put the whole picture in. It was a little bit difficult, but you can kind of see here, this is a Thinglink, and each of the little white dots that have a sort of icon inside of them represent a link on that image that can be clicked on, and then it will take you to something else. So actually we'll talk about this a little bit more, but anything that has its own URL, whether it's a YouTube video or a website or a MAD video or a Mural-y that you created or a Prezi, any of those things can be linked directly into the image, creating this sort of interactive image that people can view and kind of explore. Okay, so go to the next slide, please. Okay, and so this is an example of that. You can see, I mean, these are just three of the links on that photo, but one is a link to a definition from the Urban Dictionary for photo creeper. One's a link to my profile page on Twitter, and that'll take people right there to follow me. And one's to a YouTube video there of Darth Vader dancing to Michael Jackson with his stormtroopers, so that's kind of cool. Next page, please. So this is really super easy, and it basically starts with you logging in, and you can see in the upper left-hand corner there that you can log in either with your Facebook account or with your Twitter account or via email. And the benefit to logging in is that you then get to have a collection, a place to collect your Thinglinks. They don't go away. They're stored for you. And you can see in the upper right-hand corner, sort of the larger part of it, you can from there, go into your sort of me space, and that's where your images are, and you can open an image at any time, go back, add edits, that type of thing, or you can add a new image directly from there too, or you can go to the Create button, and if you go to the Create button, it'll give you the option then to upload either from your hard drive or from Facebook or from Flickr or even from the web. And all you have to do is basically drag and drop that video, or I'm sorry, that image in there, and that's where you start. So next slide. And then once you're inside of it, it's as simple as just clicking somewhere on the image. So you just choose the spot that you want the first link to be, you click on it, and then once you've done that, it opens your little edit window, and it gives you a place to put the link for the thing you're linking to. You can add a description if you like, but you don't have to. And if you click the little icon button, it'll open a second menu that gives you different choices for icons that you can put on there so that they are not all the same little dot. So that's kind of a nice feature too. And then go to the next slide, please. And then another reason I really like this is because, one, because it's a community, if you have your images out in the public, you get some statistics on each of your images, how often somebody's looked at them, how often they might have clicked tags inside of them, that type of thing. But also you have the ability, once you've created one, to share that link because the Thinglink itself becomes its own specific URL, and you can either embed that in a website, or you can share it through social media, or send it via email, or just share the link. And this is where it gets a little bit mind-bending. Since a Thinglink is its own unique URL, you can embed Thinglinks inside of a Thinglink, which is just a really cool idea for working with kids for projects and that type of thing, because you could have a class image, and inside of that you could be assigning kids to make their own Thinglink that you're going to link inside of that class Thinglink, and I can think of all kinds of possible ways that could be done. So that's one of the things that I'm just a big proponent of this for, is just how versatile it is. Next slide, please. I'm not going to go over this or whatever, but if you have a chance and you can come back to the webinar, that's a list of just some of the ideas that Jeff Tron and I kind of came up with in terms of using Thinglink on a website of ours. And if you'll go to the next slide, you can get to that web site either using that QR code or using that URL up there, and there's a whole page devoted to just kind of a deeper look at Thinglink, including some resources on how to get started with it, and also some ideas for using it. And that's what I have to say about that.
Very good. Thank you, Tim. And I am recording this webinar, and we'll post that in the next week or so. And then I will also share this slideshow as a PDF on the 21st Century Learning Lab website. So you will have access to all of these links and QR codes and such that our presenters are sharing. We've got two more. Next is Jill Huyen, and she is splitting her time between Triton School Corporation and Culver Community Schools, and she's going to be talking about Tagxedo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Wonderful. Well, Tagxedo is a very simple tool that has endless possibilities, and I'm really excited to share this with you. Next slide, please. Okay, so you type in www.tagxedo.com and you come to the site. You simply go to, on the left, there is a button called Create. You click on Create and it will take you to the next screen. Next slide. This is what the main screen is. Now, why I love this tool is because you can do things for math, science, social studies, language arts, Spanish, French, K through 12. You can have vocabulary words in there and you can have them hunt down, you can give them the definitions and they can find the words that match that definition. It's an amazing tool to do that. I am going to show you how I set it up for a spelling practice. So if you go to the next slide. First, because I set it up as a spelling practice, you go to the word layout options on the bottom left, and you click no to all of those, remove common words, combine related words, and combine identical words so that you get to choose the specific words you want in there. If it says yes, then they'll overlap words and combine words that are spelled wrong, and you won't get to do the thing that I want to do with it. So if you go to the next slide, I'll show you how you load the words, and I used some basic words from the elementary. I did penny spelled correctly, penny spelled wrong, and then the plural, and I went down and did that throughout so that the kids can find the words spelled correctly. So if you go to the next slide. Okay, so I have the words in there, but I want to go to a different shape. So if I click on the next slide, I can go click on the left side, it says shape, and I choose the hand. So I want to make it a hand shape because it's kid-friendly. So if you go ahead and go to the next slide. And then as you hover over the different words, the words pop out. So on an interactive whiteboard, you could have the kids find specific words that you want them to, or you can do races to see which child can find what word spelled correctly. You could even print this out, and then the kids could shade over the correct spelling words. And then the different tools on the other side, if you go over to the next slide, you can change the theme of the colors. Oh, you can change the font. And then the next slide shows that you can change the theme colors. You can change the orientation of the words for the next slide. Sorry, I'm trying to go a little faster. And that changes the way that the words are laid out. And then that's it. You can put it into, you can embed it in your website. You can save it as a screenshot, and you can put it on different homework assignments for the kids, and you can even do it on the interactive whiteboard to play with word play and vocabulary. So I think that's a wonderful tool, very simple, and user-friendly, which is always key. And then you can always save it for the next year's or however you want to put it in your kid blog or your website. So good ideas that you can play with, but that's all.
Very cool. I like that. Thank you very much. And last but not least, we have Kim Hendricks, who is from the Indiana Online Academy, and she's going to tell us about JOG the Web.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll go quickly. You can go to the next slide. JOG the Web, oh, sorry. This is my information slide. We'll skip over that because I think I put all that in the information. But JOG the Web allows you to create basically a synchronous guide to a series of websites. So it's kind of like the old WebQuest type thing, if you think about that. But it's very, very easy to use, and it takes users step by step through the websites. But what I like about this is that you can add different pages before each of the websites. And again, it's just very, very easy. If you can go to the next slide, please. You can go ahead and go to the next slide for me. There you go. So basically, in order for you to be able to do this, you have to get an account. So you do have to set up an account. But you can either choose a page from the internet, if you look over there on the left, or you can develop your own content, and that's what the green arrow is showing. So if you develop your own page content, it gives you a series of different types of things you can choose. You can do clouds, papers, Post-it notes, and then you can choose whatever that layout you want it to be, and then you can add your own text to this. So what I've done is I've actually taken all of the websites that we have talked about today, and I have made a JOG the Web of this presentation. So I will give you the link to that, and I'll post that in the chat area so that you have that. And I made a URL shortener, so it'll be easier for you to follow. So anyway, you have that, just so you know that that's what we're doing here. But you can add your own personal message to that. Okay, so if you go to the next slide, please, you can see that, can you go to the next slide for me, Mary? All you have to do really is go to the website that you want to use. So for example, here's Thinglink. You copy and paste the URL into your new page of your JOG. You give it a title, you can put the URL in, and then you just give a page comment. So you can really add your own information. You could add things you want the students to look for. You can have a series of questions. You can really kind of send them on a scavenger hunt through those websites. So that's just a really easy way for you to do that. And you just continue to do that. If you can go to the next page for me, Mary. And you can see here that the title of this JOG that I made is called Cool Tools for Creative Yule, which is our webinar today. But I have a welcome page, and then I set up the page 2, which is Thinglink, and then I did Ninu Go, and you just, again, can go through that. You'll notice over to the right that you can delete the page or you can reorder the page. So you can really say where you want those different websites to be. And then when you're finished, all you have to do is click on I'm done editing. And then when you're done editing, if you can go to the next slide for me, you will see here that now I have my personal page, just like all of these other sites where you kind of set up your own. You'll have your own JOGs. So you'll see that this one is called, again, Cool Tools, and it has 9 steps, which means there's 9 slides to the slide deck for that. And it does keep a little bit of analytics so that you'll see how many people have viewed that. And then it will just give a list of all of those, and it just makes it really easy. And then you have the big Create button over to the right, and you can create as many different JOGs as you would like. If you'll go to the next page, when you actually open the JOG, you will see it looks like this. So there's that first page. We're waiting for it to load. There we go. There's that first page of the JOG, so you can see what it looks like. There's my personal note that I typed in for this, and then you'll notice just all those different websites along the side. So you can either click on those through the numbers, or you can also just use the blue buttons at the top, and I have a kind of a cutout of that where I've zoomed in, where all you have to do is just click on the arrows, and it will take you to the next website. Okay. If you want to go to the next slide for me, just like most of these other sites, this is very easy to share. So you can share it out on Twitter, you can email it, share it on Facebook. But look, there are 285 different ways you can share this. So pretty much any type of social media you can share this on. It also gives you ways to copy and paste the link. You do have a link, and you can see here that I have the link for you. It's a very long link, so that's why I did the bit.ly to shorten it. But you could take it and put it into a QR code as well. So again, it just makes it super easy to share. And then the last page, what I like about this too, which a lot of these have, are explore features. So basically you can go through and explore other education, different types of JOGs that are done. I just did one on technology tools, and I took a screenshot of just a couple that I found. But here's some technology tools for professional development, and one for transformative work that I found. So again, it just makes it super easy for you to search other people's JOGs. Now, the one thing I didn't see is where you can actually save those and reuse those. I think it's just pretty much you would just use it as is. I haven't seen that before. So I know I went very quickly, but I know we're out of time. So thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to Mary.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kim. That is a great example of a tool that she modeled for us how we can use it in our classrooms or in our jobs. So thank you for sharing that and for also sharing this list of resources. So we are out of time, so we don't have time for questions, but I know some of the presenters have already shared their Twitter handles. I will include their contact information when I post the presentation in the 21st Century Learning Lab, which will probably be in about a week or so. I've recorded that, and we'll have, like I said, I'll have the recording and also the PowerPoint available, and also a link to Kim's resource that will list all 9 of the resources that we got today. So in closing, here is our contact information. You can always, if you have any questions, really directed at anywhere in the DOE, you can go to our homepage, and all of our contact information is on the bottom of the page, and you can email any of us, and we will either answer your question or find who you need to ask. And here are all the ways that you can find us on social media and on our website. So thank you to all of our presenters today, Bill and Amy, Melissa, Jane, Jeff, Maria, Tim, Jill, and Kim, for sharing these wonderful resources. Join us on Thursday night for our Twitter chat, and then a week from today we will be sharing some educational technology related books. So have a great evening, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.